Thank you. This is State of Washington v. Brian Green, House Number 4ZC00358. Taylor Clarksville, on behalf of the state. Defendant is present, out of custody, not represented by counsel. This matter is before the court for pre-trial conference. It's my understanding the defendant would like to proceed pro se. I'd also like to point out to the court, the defendant did audio and video record his arraignment without prior approval from the court in 8Jan15. As far as I know, has not requested permission from this court to do so today. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just state your name for me, please.
Brian Green.
Okay. And Mr. Green, can I confirm that the 351 is at Burchett Road on Alaska is still a good mailing address? Right.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. Now, Mr. Green, I see that you signed off on, let's see, your waiver of the right to an attorney and your Tacoma v. Bishop warnings. Have you read through those?
I looked at it, but I still don't understand. I mean, I've got a judicial complaint against the last judge, Judge Weller. She put in a plea for me against my objection, then my plea, after she had already admitted that innocent to proving guilty still law, she wouldn't take my plea and pled for me. So I don't, I really don't understand what's going on. I have a few questions about jurisdiction before we proceed. I'd like to ask a few questions because I really don't understand what's going on here.
I'll give you some latitude.
Okay. Let's see. Now, is this going to be a civil action or a criminal action?
You've been charged with obstruction of a law enforcement officer.
Okay. So is that criminal, Your Honor?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's a gross misdemeanor, and I'm sure Judge Weller advised you as a gross misdemeanor. You could be sentenced up to 364 days in custody and/or face a $5,000 fine.
Thank you.
And it has been brought by the state.
Okay. Let the record of this court show that this action against you is a criminal action. Now, I have another question, Your Honor. The Constitution grants two criminal jurisdictions. One is a criminal jurisdiction under common law, and the other is a criminal jurisdiction under admiralty or military tribunal venue under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 of the U.S. Constitution. In which of these two jurisdictions does the court intend to try me?
And I think that that's an excellent question, and I think that that's a question that the state's going to have to answer, because they're the one bringing the action. Do you understand?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So I think that that's something that maybe that's something that Ms. Clark would probably like to address at the next hearing, and we can, if you want to put that question in writing. But let me back up my truck a little bit here, because we're here on a free trial, and you have the right to be represented by counsel, and you have. I just need to make sure you understand that you do have the right to be represented by counsel. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed for you. I can also appoint, if you're qualified, that you can have Department of Assigned Counsel stand by for you to give you assistance if you feel that you need it. Do you understand that?
I understand what you're saying. However, the jurisdiction hasn't been. I believe the proper jurisdiction hasn't been shown yet, and that's what I'm asking for here.
Okay, well then what we would have to do is put this back on for a motion hearing to discuss the issue of jurisdiction, and the court goes on the premise that, as you know, jurisdiction is something that can be raised at any time in the proceedings, and as the court goes as being impartial, I assume that the state can bring this cause of action, this criminal action against you. So I think it would probably be good to set it for a motion hearing, and you can bring your motion.
Does
that sound reasonable?
Yes, Your Honor, it does.
Okay. But I just want to back up again. Do you understand your right to be represented by counsel?
I really don't understand much of any of this, and it's all under duress because I don't see a proper jurisdiction.
Okay. Well, we can address all that then at the hearing.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Now, let's talk about going ahead and setting this. Listen, what speeding is it? hearing, it looks like on, I'm just looking at these new forms,
These should be March 1st.
March 1st, okay. Let's make a note of that it's March 1st. And what I'd like to do is, I'm going to go ahead and set this back to pretrial. Can you be prepared on the 13th of February, Friday the 13th, to argue your case?
That sounds lucky, but yes. Yes, I can.
Okay, because I set it for motion for Friday, February 13th. All right, we'll set it for, and I don't know, let me see if you, because you have to, if you want, you're going to have to prepare documents. I don't, so let's not do that.
I've got it. It's okay.
Let's put it back on the tutoring board. All right, and now, Ms. Green, this motion that you want to bring, I would let you bring it on the 13th of February, but you're going to have to prepare some paperwork. I cannot give you any legal advice.
Yes, Judge.
I would set it then, but you're going to have to get some paperwork in, explaining what your position is on this.
Certainly.
And Your Honor, the state would also request that we set readiness and jury trial dates following that so that we have enough time to listen to our witnesses and prepare for that within speedy trial.
Okay, did you pick those dates?
We have not, Your Honor.
Okay, let's look at them and pick them, so that we can get Mr. Green to sign off on that, and I want the order to reflect, I'll give them at 10 o'clock at February 13th, but Mr. Green, you're going to have to file your motion by the, no later than the 29th of January.
I can do that.
You can do that, okay?
Yes, Your
And then
Honor, I can do that.
and I can't give you any legal advice, but you need to get your paperwork to the state, okay, so that they can respond. So, I'm informing you that you have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one may be provided to you at no expense to you. You understand that if you plead guilty without an attorney, you're acting as your own attorney, and you understand that acting as your own attorney may have disadvantages that would not exist if you were represented by counsel, okay? And again, this is a gross misdemeanor that carries with it potentially 364 days in custody and/or a $5,000 fine. You understand all of that?
I don't understand why, but I guess that I can understand a punishment.
Okay. And I see you signed off on this waiver of the right to an attorney.
Yes, under duress. Everything is
Under duress, okay. Well, I'm satisfied that you understand this sufficiently to know what you're doing here, and I'm going to go ahead and accept it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are you going to notice this setting?
I am, and Your Honor, just so I can be clear on the dates, it was February 13th, 2015, and what time for the pretrial conference?
No, that was for the motion.
Motion?
Friday the 13th, Mr. Green's lucky day.
Okay, and what time, Your Honor?
We'll do that, we'll do it at 10 o'clock.
And then for readiness and jury trial?
Did you not pick a date? You want me to pick a date? Because we've got, you said March what for speedy, Ms. Clark?
Your Honor, if I could have the schedule so I can go over dates.
I believe speedy was March 1st, Your Honor.
Okay, March
Are we setting an entity with pretrial?
Those are on Wednesday.
I gotta do Wednesday, I gotta do Wednesday.
And then after that, trials are Monday at 9. So we have to set up within speed, right, within speed is March 1st. It's gotta be before then. So, you want to leave it to me?
I think the closest to the 27th.
So it looks like, it's not gonna work, but it's March, right, it's not gonna work. February 23rd. So then that would mean,
I gotta do my thing fine.
so that would mean that writing this, February 18th. At 1:30 p.m. We've got the same conditions as last time.
And again, he needs to provide any paperwork on the motion by the 29th.
By the 29th? Thank you.
Okay?
Filed by February 29th.
No, January.
Oh, January.
January 29th.
Okay,
January.
thank you.
All right, so, do you have any questions, Mr. Green, about what's going on here?
No, Your Honor.
All right, if you want to come forward, we'll give you, copy of this order for your records. You'll come right here, so. Okay, pending the next hearing, I'm just gonna ask that you have no hostile contact with law enforcement, okay?
I never have. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Bolt will be the next matter.
Right here.